Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Thursday morning because Gold Club members cashed in on 6 more plays on my premium page yesterday. We had the Bucks, Pacers, Boston University in college basketball, Mercer +3 in college basketball as well, Florida Panthers money line, and we also hit on a 2-team NBA teaser. It's also going to put us at 4-0 in our last 4 extra daily picks. And the good news is I've got another extra daily pick going off here for you today. I'll explain a little bit more about all that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to my NBA free pick video here today for Thursday, January 9th, 2025. Happy Thursday to you. Weekend's right around the corner. We are just about there. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on social media since 2016. And real quick, if you missed out on all those winners I previously mentioned on my premium page, the only way you could have accessed all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Now, Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And once again, folks, we are now 4-0 in our last 4 extra daily picks, 2-0 in our last couple of NBA tier package plays, 2-0 in our last 2 college basketball tier package picks. And finally, folks, we are 2-0 in our last couple of chairman package plays. And the good news is we've got plays going off in all of those packages here today. And they're all included with your Gold Club membership. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Timberwolves taking on the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Minnesota is -4 away from home, totals 204. And, both clubs coming into today's game with winning records on the year, winners of 2 out of their last 3 respectively. And a lot of that is thanks to some good defensive play on both squads. The Magic's allowing just 103 points a game. They lead the league in defensive boards. Of course, Minnesota on the other side, they're in the top 5 in points allowed, top 5 in guarding the three-pointer. Now, injury-wise, Dillingham's still out for Minnesota. Suggs and Harris still inactive for Orlando. Also, Paolo Banchero is day-to-day with that oblique injury, so keep an eye on him. When it comes to the total, Orlando saw unders in their last 4 straight. They also went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Minnesota saw unders recently against the likes of the Pelicans, Clippers, and Mavericks. When it comes to selecting a winner in this one, yep, this is the one. This game's being featured as today's red-hot extra daily pick on my premium page. But as far as making a free play is concerned, I like the under 204. Next contest, Raptors, Cavaliers, 7 o'clock East. Cleveland's -15.5 at home, totals 235. Now, the Cavaliers are 32-4 on the year. Only 4 losses this season. They're 26-10 against the point spread. They've been an absolute cash cow. Meanwhile, Toronto's just 8-29 overall themselves. Failed to cover in 8 out of their last 10. The Raptors are a bottom 10 point-producing team, dead last in three-pointers made. And they're facing a Cleveland squad who's definitely tough to shoot the long ball against themselves. They're tough to score against, tough to shoot against anywhere on the court. But the Cavs are in the top 10 in 3 balls allowed, 4th in defensive field goal percentage. Evan Mobley's the club leader in blocks. Jared Allen grabs the most boards. Of course, when it comes to offensive production, the Cavs are shooting a league best 40.5% from 3 land. Now, injury-wise, Merrill and Okoro are day-to-day for Cleveland. Keep an eye on them. And total-wise, the Cavs saw unders recently against the likes of the Hornets and Warriors. Now, the under also cashed in 6 out of their last 9 gatherings with Toronto. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Now, the Raptors went 4-2 to the under in their last 6 themselves. I like Cleveland -15.5. under 235. Next game, Warriors Pistons, 7 o'clock East. Detroit's minus 3.5, totals 219. And both teams with very similar straight up and ATS records on the year. When it comes to defensive play, both teams with some good stuff happening. Detroit's a top 5 defensive rebounding team, and the Warriors are in the top 10 in steals and blocks themselves. Now, injury-wise, Schroeder, Green, Curry, and Moody are questionable. Kuminga and Payton are out. Meanwhile, for Detroit on the other side, Jaden Ivey's been scratched for them. Amen Thompson's also day-to-day. Now, total-wise, the Pistons saw unders in 3 out of their last 5. And out of Golden State's last 10 contests, well, the under cashed in 60% of those games. I like the under 219. Next matchup, Rockets Grizzlies, 8 o'clock East. Houston's minus 2, totals 234. And both teams with 24 wins on the season, respectively. They both have winning records against the point spread. When it comes to defensive play, well, both teams are in the top 3 in the league in defensive field goal percentage, making it very tough for their opponents getting on the scoreboard. Now, injury-wise, Eson's still questionable for Houston. Smith is still out. Meanwhile, for Memphis on the other side, Jackson, Bane, Morant, and Aldama are questionable for them. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, the Grizzlies saw unders recently against the likes of the Mavericks, Suns, and Thunder. Meanwhile, Houston saw 3 out of their last 5 stay under the total themselves. I like the under 234. Next game, Blazers, Mavericks, 8:30 p.m. East. Dallas is minus 7, totals 220. Now, the Mavs are 5 games above 500, winning record against the point spread. Meanwhile, Portland's just 13-23 overall for the year, failed to cover in 5 out of their last 9. Now, the Blazers have certainly had their issues on the defensive end of the court. They're in the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 5 in defending the field goal. And they're facing a Dallas squad who's coming fresh off a 21-point win over the Lakers. They're 6th in shooting it from 3 land. Klay Thompson and P.J. Washington, they're making nearly 40% of their long balls respectively. Both are averaging over 13 points a game. Of course, injury-wise, Irving and Doncic are still unavailable. Daniel Gafford's day-to-day. Meanwhile, for Portland, Klingon, Grant, and Thibault are questionable for them. And one more thing to note, the Blazers are in the second of a back-to-back here today, traveling into town after being in New Orleans just last night. Now, total-wise, 6 out of the Blazers' last 10 outings did get over the total. Meanwhile, Dallas saw overs recently against the likes of Cleveland and this very Portland team. As a matter of fact, 9 out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head meetings did get over the line. So once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. I like the Mavericks minus 7 over 220. Next game, Heat Jazz, 9 o'clock East. Miami's minus 5 away from home, totals 222. Now, Miami still got a winning record despite their recent struggles. And they are coming fresh off a 16-point win against Golden State just a few nights ago. Now, Utah on the other side, they're just 9-26 overall themselves. Losers of 6 out of their last 8. And I'll tell you what, a lot of Utah's issues have been on the defensive end of the court. The Jazz allow nearly 120 points a game, bottom 5 in guarding the 3-ball. And they're facing a Miami team who's scored at least 114 points or more in 4 out of their last 5 games. Tyler Hero is drilling 40% of his attempts from beyond the arc, team leader in scoring. Bam Adebayo, he's averaging over 16 points a game himself, double-digit boards a game for him. Now, injury-wise, Love and Richardson are questionable for Miami. Collins, George, and Clarkson still out for the Jazz. Total-wise, Utah went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, Miami saw overs in 4 out of their last 5 themselves. I like the Heat minus 5 over 222. Next matchup, Hawks Suns, 9 o'clock East. Phoenix is minus 6, totals 238. As much as the Suns have struggled here recently, I think they can exploit the defensive effort of Atlanta. The Hawks are allowing more made three-pointers a game than any other team. And fortunately for Phoenix, they are still a top 10 three-point shooting team. Kevin Durant's drilling nearly 41% of his long balls, 27 points per contest. And Tyus Jones also knocks down over 42% of his three-pointers himself. Dozen points a game for him. They're facing an Atlanta team who failed to cover in their last 4 straight. They're actually allowing more made three balls a game than any other team. When it comes to grabbing boards, they are a bottom 10 defensive rebounding squad. Now, more bad news for Atlanta fans. Young and Bogey are still on the injury report, officially listed as day-to-day. Meanwhile, Johnson, Zeller, and Nance, they're also still out for him. And Okongwu's been listed as questionable for Atlanta as well. Now, for Phoenix on the other side, they're actually mostly healthy at the moment, except for Royce O'Neal. He's still nursing that ankle problem. When it comes to the number, the Suns did see overs recently against the likes of the Pacers and Pistons. And, of course, out of Atlanta's last 10 outings, the over cashed in 80% of those games. I like the Suns -6 over 238. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our next and final breakdown for the video. Hornets-Lakers, 10:30 Eastern tip-off. The Lakers are -9, totals 221.5. And even though they are favored by nearly double digits, the Lakers are currently on a 2-game skid. They've been a bit lax this year on defense thus far. They're currently 25th in guarding the field goal, bottom 10 in defensive turnovers. And they're facing a Charlotte team who does rebound well on the offensive end of the court. And they are a legit threat shooting the deep ball. They keep chucking them up. These guys are currently 8th in three-pointers made per game. LaMelo Ball is averaging just about 30 points per contest, 7 assists a night. And Brandon Miller is second on the roster in scoring. Of course, as a team, the Hornets did cover in their last 3 straight. Covers against the likes of the Suns, Cavaliers, and Pistons. And when it comes to the injury list, Trey Mann's still out for the Hornets with back trouble. Now, Lakers on the other side, LeBron and AD are questionable as usual. Cam Reddish also listed as day-to-day. The Lakers did see overs in 4 out of their last 7 games against the likes of Houston, Sacramento, and Golden State. I like Charlotte +9 over 221.5. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me the under 204 in the Minnesota-Orlando game. I like the Cavaliers -15.5, under 235. I'm 4-0, my last 4 extra daily picks on my premium page. Give me the under 219 in the Warriors-Pistons game. I like the under 234 in the Rockets-Grizzlies matchup. Dallas -7 over 220. Miami -5 over 222. Suns -6 over 238. Give me the Hornets +9 over 221.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. They're going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks, that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.